Welcome to the Interactive Body Balance Radio Show for health and fitness tips.
Welcome back, team. Interactive Body Balance Radio. I'm your host, Mike Dasik, and thank you guys so much for joining our show today from around the world. We talk health, fitness, nutrition, functional medicine, and personal development. Not really a fan of that functional medicine term anymore. I like more natural health, natural healing, using, your environment, your surroundings, and your lifestyle to heal yourself. That's what we do. All right. Getting on these podcasts more often than not, and it's been a great, every day's pretty much great. You just got to work at it, right? Every day you got to find the silver lining, and every day you got to take the wins and enjoy them and take the losses and learn from them. I'm doing a podcast today on this crazy new, relatively new weight loss drug, weight loss medication. And why? Because I'm getting lots of questions about it. I try to do podcasts when I get a lot of questions and a lot of text messages and there's a lot of buzz surrounding something that's going on. We did the Prime energy drinks last week, or I guess it was Saturday, and now we're doing the new weight loss drug. There's two of them out there, folks, and they are Wegovy and Ozempic. So, if you've heard about this fad, these drugs, these going around Hollywood and people losing a lot of weight and people getting slim and what are they taking? Well, there's this new medication out, and I'll get into the details as I always do. There's Wegovy, whatever you want to call it, and Ozempic. Let's call it Wegovy. Let's do that. There are two names for something called the same drug known as semaglutide. Semaglutide. I'll say it again. I could spell it if you want. Ozempic is the name of the drug prescribed for people with diabetes. The FDA approved Ozempic back in 2017, and they approved Wegovy for people with obesity and who are overweight in 2021. Again, it's prescribed under different names with slightly different dosages and different indications, but the drug itself is the same. Again, semaglutide. So, how do they work? And why is the big rage? Drugs, they decrease appetite, slow down emptying of the stomach, so people feel less hungry, they eat less. I'm a huge proponent of, there's type of food, the type of calories in, calories out. You want to lose weight, there's a simple formula in terms of, take in less than you burn, but also the quality of your food matters immensely. It's just really important. We'll get into all this. I'm just talking about the drug right now and what's going on, then I'll get into other stuff. Wegovy and Ozempic mimic the hormone glucagon-like peptide 1, which targets areas of the brain that regulate appetite. And this is all FDA discussed. It's on every website. This isn't my own terminology. A little more in depth because I love the details. Semaglutide, again, glucagon-like peptide 1 receptor agonist, or GLP-1 RAs, mimics the GLP-1 hormone released in the gut in response to eating. One of the roles of GLP-1 is to prompt the body to produce more insulin, which reduces blood sugar. And as we discussed, for that reason, healthcare providers have used semaglutide for more than 15 years to treat type 2 diabetes. But of course, the name brands came out in, as we said, 2017, 2021, Wegovy, Ozempic, etc. One last point on this, because GLP-1 in higher amounts also interacts with parts of the brain that suppress your appetite and signal you to feel full. When used in conjunction with diet and exercise, it can cause the weight loss we talked about. Then there's some more information here. Some of this information, I curate a lot of information from different sources, folks. Nonetheless, we'll get into that after. But Wegovy is supposed to be used for people who are obese or overweight, body mass, BMIs over 30, etc. There's also, reasons why people use Ozempic, and FDA approved, for people with type 2 diabetes. So just think of, Wegovy for overweight, as I said, and Ozempic for type 2 diabetes. More information on why this is a huge deal. Everybody's, getting on it. 70% of adults in the United States of America are obese or overweight. They have serious health problems. They have chronic diseases, like diabetes and fibromyalgia and all that kind of things. So losing some of the body weight's been very helpful. always get into the side effects. What about side effects? Yes, there are some GI problems with Ozempic and or Wegovy. People's digestive tracts, during the trials, there was nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, constipation, and all this kind of stuff. Also, if you take Wegovy or Ozempic, you will have to stay on them. Once you stop taking them, you will gain the weight back for many of the reasons we've already discussed in terms of how it works, right? And the signaling. You inject it. So a lot of people inject it once a week. They're injected, again, once a week. There's also pills coming out, and some people are starting to take the pill. So this is what you're hearing about this medication, right? So you're hearing about it. Sounds all great. You can lose weight. And again, Hollywood's joking, people losing 15, 20 pounds. You've heard about Ozempic face. That's because people are losing a lot of fat in their face quickly. So when you start losing fat quickly, 15, 20, 30 pounds, you lose it all over. And so this is just anecdotal. This is what people are saying. People who talk to me, right? They've lost weight, but they don't look good because their face looks drawn in. Their face looks sick. Their face looks ill. This is called Ozempic face. People have said that overall, right? So there's one thing if you want to lose weight, but do you want to look gaunt? Do you want to not look the greatest when you lose a lot of weight? That's something for you to consider. Again, these are documented reasons about Wegovy and Ozempic to be cautious, right? I just give you guys the real data points, the real facts. Always speak to your medical doctor. I do not prescribe this. I do not take this. I do not talk to any of my patients who want to. I always say talk to your GP first. I'm here to give you the data on it. I'm here to give you the facts. I'm here to give you what it does, how it works. This is, again, another article. I think it's from which doctor is this here? This one is from Dr. Wang. So this is just her input here on some of the side effects, some of the issues that may not be for everybody. Again, Ozempic type 2, Wegovy for people who are obese. Those are the people. If you lose weight with those new drugs, you have to stay on them for forever, right, to keep the weight off. People who stop taking Wegovy and Ozempic often gain the weight back, and it's quickly. The drugs are very expensive. Some people say it's thousands of dollars, right, for the drugs, you can imagine. So it's very expensive. Also, with so many people taking them who shouldn't be taking them, there's now shortages of the drug. GI issues I talked about too. Some people who take it, again, suffer from some eye issues called diabetes eye. And so it's, retinopathy. You guys have probably heard of that. That's issues with the eye. And so there's been documented stuff. Also, the drugs tend to suppress a person's appetite. Again, you're still going to reduce the quality of your food and all the other junk food, because if you're just eating the worst food, of course, it's not good to stay healthy. Also, as I already said before, some people complain of looking older due to that, because it's just you lose fat from all over. Fat's super helpful in some ways. That's why when I always talk about carbs and proteins and fats, fat's got its role. But when people take these weight loss drugs, they start to look older and their face gets drawn in. There's side effects, folks. Looking at it now. That's just the data points. You guys know me. I'm more about the other stuff. What would I do? What would I do? Not what I think you should do. This is what I do. It's been what I've been preaching for 20 years. How do you stay fit? How do you stay healthy? How do you stay with energy? You eat right, folks. You eat the right foods for you. The right proteins, the right fats, the right carbohydrates, the right macros, the right nutrients, the right minerals, right? Vitamins. You got to eat right. And we've discussed that so much. I do consults every day on it. There's ways to do it. The other thing is, you got to train. You have to train properly, right? Train for your body type, train for your goals, train for what you want to train for. A few days a week, 4 days a week, 6 days a week. You're an athlete. We work with every type of person. Train properly. Sleep's important. You got to get the right amount of sleep, folks. You got to take time for prayer and meditation and downtime and quiet the brain and all this stuff. Check in with the mind. Really critical to get that mind right. Some people, as I said before, get the nutrition right, the training right, the sleep right, but they don't get their mind right. You know who you are. You're listening to this, you're like, I can't figure out this mind thing. I can't figure out how to quiet down. I coach all the time. I coach executive. I coach everybody all the time. I get a lot of feedback, and I love the data. I love the studies. See, today's podcast, I went to the data. I went to the doctors. I went to the websites. I went to the articles. I went to the FDA. You did all this stuff. Data matters. But what I said is super important, right? You got to do all this stuff, right? And again, natural supplementation where it may be if you're deficient in some stuff. We had that's enough. I mean, that is first and foremost. You do what works for you. I think of, the ways that you need to do it. You can run genetic markers to see where you sit on the wheel. Because I got people like, I'm just genetically predetermined to be overweight. There's some literature about genetics. I could get into that for a whole other show. I'm looking at my DNA panel right now. I encourage my clients to run their genetic panel, their DNA, to see what they look like. But most, if not 90% of it, is what you do with your life, your lifestyle, everything I said. Right? What do you do? Even with the poor genes, if you had them, what do you do? And that's why, as I always said, lead, be intentional. May had an amazing kit sent to me from a potential sponsor. I'll wait for other shows to talk about it. Beautiful kit showed up at our door, and I'm going to try out all the stuff they sent. We're going to get this podcast booming. It was growing, and then doing one show a month has not been great. I'll get back to more because I know it reaches literally hundreds of thousands of people. So that's why we do it. If you like it, share it. If you want to be informed, come here. I have people call me and text me every single day for the most obscure questions, and I love them. They're like, Mike, you deal with so much of this stuff. I thought you know other stuff. I thought you'd know. I love that, right? So you can email the office and text or call if you have our personal number. And, of course, we're always here for you. The first book, The Transformation from Within, it's free on the website, MikeDasiak.com, interactivebodybalance.com, interactivebodybalance.com. So many people go there for different reasons. It's great. How to restore your health. There's free chapters on the website as well. You can get the ebook. You can go. I'm looking at 100 books in my office. I give them away. I give the hardcover books away to people just because we care, right? And get the word of health out there. That is what we do. Now, I already said the website. The email is always info@MikeDasiak.com, info@MikeDasiak.com. You can reach us anywhere. Instagram, Mike Dasiak. Podcast, Interactive Body Balance. You're listening to this. I don't know if you subscribe or you just listen to it on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. We're here for you. This is why we do it. We're super busy. We're not taking on new clients, but we're giving out free advice. We're giving out advice like this. We're giving out hope and help, and that is what we do. We got a lot of big goals, a lot of big things coming up to finish 2023. Traveling a bit for business coming up, and lots of great things for the family. So that's going to lead me to my pointer. Number one, got to work hard. There's no substitute for hard work. I've said this every podcast for many years. Number two, you have to add your value, right? Your skill set to the world. Everyone listening to this has a skill set to add to the world. The world needs it. If you go to the grave and you didn't add your skill set or value to the world, you're deprived of your God-given ability, and we don't want that. We want to see what you have to offer. Number three, help other people. Pull out chairs, open doors, donate to charities where you can. Give of your time, give of your money. Whatever you can do to help other people, please do it. And number four, as I just finished a consult really early this morning, and I said to the person, right, have fun. Smile and have some fun. Enjoy life. It's not all about hard work all the time and the T's and C's and money and all that. No, you got to have some fun. All right. Team, live with passion, live with purpose, live with intent. I hope you love this podcast. I do it for you guys. I do it to get the word out. As I said, I just love helping people. And we've been doing this healthcare, personal development, improve for more than 20, 25 years. And we're going to continue to do it until the day we die. Take care. We'll talk to you guys real soon.